Hi there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, recording this from Toronto on the corner of Bloor or near the corner of Bloor and Spadina. I'll step inside because the wind is a little strong out here. But today's video is entitled, Tell Me Something I Don't Know. So let me just set this up and I'll get talking. One moment. Oh. There we go. So I do a lot of work with people around point of view, particularly in my mentorship program, helping them figure out how they see things and articulate this in a way that could make a difference in their marketing and help them attract more of the kind of people that they're looking to attract. And one of the things I've been finding just the other day is working through one of my clients' materials, and I realized there was a lot of stuff that I just thought, yeah, I know it, everybody knows this is very common. And it was this experience of looking through it, looking for the needle in the haystack, looking through all these things just to find the one thing that was really unique, that was going to pop, that was going to be different about it, that people would see and say, oh, I've never thought about it that way before, I've never seen it this way before. So for example, something we all know, it's good to eat healthy food. Yeah, there's certain things when you think about your target market, your industry, the kind of people that you want to reach, the scenes or the crowds to which you're going to be marketing. It's best not to belabor the point too much and talk about things that we all know as if they're new and profound. I remember a woman reached out to me years ago and she said, "Hey Tad, could you promote my ebook?" And it was called The 5 Secrets to Success. And it was early in my career, but I thought, well, sure, maybe. So she sent me the ebook, and it said, secret number 1, know what you want. Secret number 2, take action. Secret number 3, notice what you're getting. Secret number 4, adjust until you get what you want, something like this. I read it, and I emailed her. I said, I read this 10 years ago from Tony Robbins. This is not new. This isn't profound. This isn't, remarkable in any particular way. So basically what I was telling her was, tell me something I don't know. Give me something new. Give me something interesting. I imagine this is true in Hollywood or in the world of television when people pitch a TV show. Well, it's been done. Or when, authors pitch editors, it's been done. We get it. We've seen it. And there's nothing new and fresh about it. And it can be like looking for the needle in the haystack, trying to find something original, a perspective, a take on things that hasn't been seen before. So it's a big deal, and it takes a lot of work. I suppose this is why people hire people like me, or marketing people or copywriters, and this is why it's such gold to keep talking about our business with our friends, because in those conversations often the gold emerges. The challenge is sometimes people don't recognize it when it happens. I've been seeing this a lot with clients where they say something, and for them, it's very common. Well, of course, everyone sees it this way, and I have to tell them, no, that was new. I've never heard anyone speak about this in the way that you're speaking about it. And those are the things to lead with in our marketing. Those are the things to, if you're going to do your TED Talk, you do your TED Talk about that. You do it about the unique thing that nobody else says. Or you lead with saying it in a way that nobody else has said it before. I remember, it's become very central to my work, and I imagine sort of invisible to people who have been exposed to my work for a while, but I'll never forget coming across Ari Galper's work. His website now is unlockthegame.com, which I recommend. But at the time, it was reverseselling.com. And I had spent so many years drinking the Kool-Aid of Kool-Aid, more like the hard liquor of the traditional sales movement. Tom Hopkins, Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, all of this. And I struggled with it because it didn't feel good to do. It did all these high pressure, go for the close tactics didn't feel great. I didn't want to do them, but I didn't know another way to do them. And so I saw this thing called reverse selling, and something intuitively spoke to me about it, because I thought, boy, if all the sales stuff I learned feels this terrible, the reverse of that's probably got to be good. Anyway, it just sparked my curiosity. So I checked it out, and it was amazing because he was the first one to say, what if sales pressure is not an inherent part of, or a necessary part of the dynamic? What if it's created by us and our agenda to get the sale? What if this intention to get the sale is at the heart of the sales pressure and why sales feel so terrible? And what if we replace that with the agenda to get to the truth of if it's a fit? So, I mean, this is one of the first things I say in my day-long workshops. This is so central to everything I talk about. But it was new for me. Gosh, almost 20 years ago. Well, 15, let's say. It was new to me. And it was so profound. You can probably think of books you've read or TED Talks you've seen where there was an idea that was so new, so fresh. And so this is what we want to find for ourselves. If you're going down that road of point of view marketing, of course I've got my ebook Point of View Marketing. You can check out that. Has a workbook with 67 questions to help you get there, and it may take some additional help to work through those answers to find the thing that really is unique and really lands. So anyways, there's probably a ton more examples that I could give, but hopefully that gives you a taste of it. Tell me something I don't know. When you read your own marketing materials, here's another way to say it. This is probably helpful. When you read, let's say you sit down and say, well, let me just articulate my point of view. Let me articulate my philosophy. And you do it. You try to do some kind of summary of it. Okay. Then you read it over and you say, could I replace my name, my company, with another name, another company, and all of this point of view still be true, that they would all see it the same way? Because this came up working with somebody who runs a yoga studio, basically. And when I read through the point of view, I thought, boy, I bet you they say this in a lot of yoga studios. There was a bunch of it that just didn't seem unique. Not that it's not important, not that it's stuff they wouldn't talk about, but from a standpoint of marketing, I wasn't convinced that much of it would be new to the students that were thinking of signing up for a teacher training. That it would be profound and, oh my gosh, I've never considered that before. Most of them would have been exposed to it. So good to focus on and build one's business around the piece that's different and unique. So that's it. Tell me something I don't know. I'll probably have lots more examples that come to my mind once I stop this video. But if you have any questions or if you can think of examples, I'd love to hear them. You can just put them in the comments below. Thanks so much.